Welcome to the Kenya Diaspora Radio and Television and the Africa paper. We are very happy today to have Sister Decontee Sawyer, and we requested her to come to our studio so that she can really tell us more about the Ebola menace back in West Africa.
Yeah.
So, Sister, tell us more about, first of all, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
What do you do? What's your profession? Then you'll briefly again tell us how you are actually been coping with this menace.
Yeah.
Because you did miss, you are really missing your husband right now because
He was.
the first American to die
Yes.
from this particular disease called Ebola. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, my brother. Thank you, and thank you to your viewers for watching. My name is Decontee Sawyer, Decontee Sawyer, and I am the wife of the late Patrick Sawyer, the first American to die from Ebola. So that happened on July 25th. It was on a Friday that he died while working in Nigeria. He flew there for work with the ECOWAS unit. He was the lead coordinator for the ECOWAS units in Liberia. So he was there on official government work, diplomatic work, and it was during that time, immediately upon his arrival, that he fell ill and was taken to a hospital and was later quarantined. But I've been doing okay. You asked about my profession. I am a youth services counselor at the Central Minnesota Sexual Assault Center. So at that center, in that capacity, I have worked there for the past 11 years, working with primary as well as secondary victims and survivors of sexual violence, of sexual assault. Working with them on their healing process, doing some support counseling work with them. So that's has been my life's work for the past 11 years. And now it has transitioned into this work with fighting against Ebola, since Ebola came and knocked down my front door and tore up my home. I have been forced to look at the Ebola crisis and really pray about how I could best help in this situation, given my own loss, and knowing that many family are suffering the same way as my family, losing their loved ones.
Sure.
How can I help? Because it does me no good just crying for myself and my three children, three young children, Ava, Mia, and Bella, and their ages 6, 5, and 18 months old. And they're missing their father, and I'm missing my husband. And grieving, going through that grieving process, I realized that it's not good enough. Something has to be done. And how can I be a part of the solution in helping to eradicate Ebola so that no other family can go through this, so that no other little girl or little boy would lose their parents to Ebola, so that mothers and fathers wouldn't lose their children to Ebola. So how can we stop it? How can we eradicate it? That's my mission now.
Okay. So thank you very much again for giving us that brief introduction and what you basically do. Right now, we also we would love to know how you are actually coping. Which mechanisms are you actually employed to make sure that at least you are trying to turn back to your normal life.
Yeah.
You are trying to make sure that your daughters actually are comfortable and
Yeah.
understand what is happening. Tell us a little bit more.
The coping process is a huge piece, the healing, because it's requiring a lot of healing. To lose someone and to lose someone in that capacity. And it's so sudden, it's so quick, Ebola. It takes away the life like that. And for me, I didn't have time to even process it. I didn't know he was sick. I didn't know. I didn't even know he traveled to Nigeria. I didn't know he was sick. And I heard one day that Patrick was sick with Ebola. That was on the Thursday, the 24th. And on Friday morning at 3 a.m., the 25th, I get word from back home in Liberia that he died.
So you want to say you never even talked?
No.
Sorry for
We
that.
never even talked during those last moments.
Oh.
The last time we spoke was a week prior,
Mm-hmm.
exactly a week prior, the Friday before
Hmm.
was the last time we spoke. 'Cause of his work, he was very dedicated to his work in Africa, to his work in Liberia, and it took majority of his time away
Yeah.
from home, and so
It's a lot of pain.
it was a week since we had last
Yeah.
communicated, and so everything just happened so quick, so fast.
Not even having time to tell you,
Not
I mean, to
even
tell his
having
daughters
time.
this is what is happening.
No, no,
Oh,
he was dead before we knew it.
okay.
Yeah, before we knew it.
Thank
And so my coping
Mhm.
right now comes from my faith in God,
Mm-hmm.
my faith in God,
Mhm.
in divine healing, in divine
Mm-hmm.
comfort.
Mm-hmm.
So my church family and my family, my mother, my sisters. I'm from a big family.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from a large family. I'm the I'm the last girl of 6 girls
Okay.
in my family, and
Okay.
I have a younger brother,
Uh-huh.
Joe. Joseph is his name. He's named after our dad.
Are they
And
here also?
They're here in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah, they're here in the U.S. So we're a big family and we're a close family. So that closeness, from my family, my mother, my father, my parents, my siblings, other relatives, cousins, and then my church family, and then my community at large.
Thank you.
Here in Minnesota, so not just the African community, but the Minnesota community have been very, very kind and supportive
That is very true.
of me. So we've gotten a lot of support. I've gotten a lot of prayers from many, many people around, not just in Minnesota too, but from around the world. People in West Africa are praying for me and my family too, as we're praying for them. So we're all in this together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, my sister. It's a little bit moving. No, that is a story you have to tell the whole world about all that. So tell us more about the Kofa Foundation. Why did you decide actually to have this particular foundation?
Yeah.
What are you intending to do in the
Yes.
few years coming?
Yes.
So tell us more about that.
So the KOFA Foundation, we recently started it on, we actually registered it with the state of Minnesota on August 7th. And I remember that because it's the birthday of one of my daughters. But we registered it after many weeks of grassroots organization and working and directing folks to give all of your resources to Global Health Ministries and to Samaritan's Purse, because those are 2 organizations that we have identified, that I have identified, that are doing the work on the ground, that are there in Liberia, in Guinea, and other countries, that are giving back to the people that are helping to fight against Ebola. So we identified those organizations and said, me personally, I don't have the capacity to take
Sure.
fundings right now, to take supplies, to send them back. So let's work with these credible organizations, because I was looking for credibility.
Sure.
Because, I was afraid that things would be mismanaged.
Sure.
So these are well-established NGOs, international groups. Samaritan's Purse, as you're aware of, Dr. Kent Brentley works with Samaritan's Purse. So
Sure.
they're very, very credible. And so we started to reach out to them. I reached out to them, and they embraced my reaching out, and they assigned someone to work with me in helping to spread the word about just awareness about Ebola and how we can help. So that's how it started immediately. And then as time went on, as the days turned into weeks and into months, I felt stronger and felt like I can now do more as an individual, but then working collaboratively with other people to start something of our own, so that we, the African people, can be in the full front of fighting this battle against Ebola. And so that's why the KOFA Foundation was born and established, and will continue to work in collaboratively with Samaritan's Purse and Global Health Ministries and other organizations. I have a meeting with the Minnesota Department of Health coming up next week, and different groups and organizations have been reaching out to us and saying, we're excited that you're taking this lead, this front step to fight against Ebola. You know, Africans, we have to fight.
Sure.
We have to lead this fight.
Sure.
And then the world fights with us. And so that's what the KOFA Foundation is. It's us being a part of leading this fight and encouraging the world to fight with us against Ebola. And we've gotten so much help, and we're ready to help ourselves.
Okay.
Right? And so we're looking to offer with the foundation continuous education about Ebola and awareness and how to prevent it and identify, contain, and ultimately eradicate Ebola. But we're looking mostly, though, at the family members that are left behind.
Okay.
The grieving family members. Those that I'm afraid would be forgotten tomorrow. People like myself and my daughters who are left behind, who have lost their loved ones.
Sure.
The ones that no one really thinks about. Because right now we're thinking about the virus itself and the people who are currently infected by the virus. And that's great. We need to think that way, and we need to fight the virus. But what we're not working on right now or thinking about at this point are those people who are grieving the loss,
Sure.
who have lost family members. For me, I lost Patrick, and I've lost other relatives too. But there's a young woman right here in Minnesota who have lost 8 of her family members.
Wow.
8 of them. That includes her mom, her dad, and siblings. That sister needs help. She's a survivor. She's a secondary survivor of Ebola, and she needs help. Days she can't get up from her bed. Right. So those are the people we're looking at immediately, those surviving family members, those secondary survivors who aren't really being looked at right now, but are dealing with so much. The mental health piece is huge in our community right now with dealing with the loss and the grief.
Sure.
So we're looking at advocating for mental health through the KOFA Foundation. We're looking at emergency fundings for these family members who are having who are being financially hit by this virus. And so emergency fundings. We're looking at the children who are now left behind. Their education is key. Education is big in my family.
Sure.
Patrick and myself, you know, our children, he used to always say the girls don't have a choice. They must be educated.
Sure.
They're going to get their PhDs. You know, he had big dreams for the daughters, and so do I. And many parents have those dreams. And now with those parents gone, those children are left behind. Who's going to help them fulfill their dreams?
Sure.
So that's why we have the scholarship fund that we're establishing with the KOFA Foundation.
Thank you.
To be able to assist with some of those dreams.
So if somebody, I mean, you've been to very many media houses, and we also welcome you to the KDRTV, especially to our viewers.
Thank you.
If they really need to get in touch with you, is there a way they can get in touch with you?
Yes, you can go to our website at www.kofafoundation.org. That is KOFA spelled KOFA foundation.org. And you can send us a message there through the website. Or you can call at 763-232-6606. 763-232-6606. That is our business phone number. So you can reach us by phone or online, send us an email through the website, and we'll receive that too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. We're currently housed at the Center for Families in Minneapolis.
That's another question I was going to ask
Yes,
you. Okay?
yes, we have our office space there at the Center for Families. So we receive mail-ins at the Center for Families. So you can come and visit our office at 3333, so that's 3333 North 4th Street, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the zip code is 55412. 55412. And I must thank the Center for Families, the Greater Minneapolis Council of Churches. They donated our office space. They believe in the work we're doing, and they want to fight this fight with us against Ebola. And this is one little way they did to fight that battle. They have donated us an office space. So we're able to now say we have an office space. And thanks to the Greater Minneapolis Council of Churches and the Center for Families for that. And to all of our partners who have helped us out in the process, the City of Brooklyn Park, the City of Brooklyn Center, the Minnesota Department of Health, Hennepin County Medical Center, they've stepped up to help. Matter is a nonprofit that have stepped up to help. Matter is going to be donating food through the KOFA Foundation to the KOFA Foundation for us to give to grieving family members, those people who are losing their loved ones in Ebola, to Ebola, that are right here in Minnesota, in the U.S., that are grieving that loss. We will be able to make house visits to them, to empathize with them, to say, we're here for you, you're not alone. For me, especially, I am you and you are me. We're one in this together. We're sorry. Here, we brought you some food.
Thank you.
So that's going to be prepared, ready for them. And it would be enough food. It wouldn't be much, but it would be enough for a family of 4 for a week. That's the service we're getting. People believe in this work and people want to help in every little way. And in addition, we're collecting supplies and financial donations, and we're still shipping food and medical supplies as well to Africa. We're doing that as well with our partners, with Matters and with Global Health Ministries is also shipping supplies. So we're encouraging people to continue to collect medical supplies, personal protective gears, to help contain the virus. And we're having those airlifted to Africa, to the West African region. So we're doing that work on a consistent basis.
Thank you. And again, there's this thing here where the U.S. government is sending to West Africa 3,000 troops to West Africa. How did you receive that information? And tell us something about it.
I received that information from my mother, told me about it, and right away I went and checked it up online and verified it, and was ecstatic to hear that. I mean, that's a bold step. I wrote President Barack Obama a letter back in August 7th, and I believe we're going to talk a little bit about that. And it was just a call to action to the African leaders, because they were coming for the U.S. African Leadership Summit that week. And so I wanted to reach out to them through our President Obama here and say, please talk with them about how we can best collaborate and work together, them as leaders and us as people, to fight this deadly, merciless killer Ebola. And that really was desperate at that time and just really needed folks to take some bold steps. So I'm excited to hear that our president made those steps, and he responded. The White House wrote me back. The Secretary of Health and Human Services wrote back and addressed my letter and identify some steps that the U.S. government was taking. So I'm not surprised to hear that they kept their word.
Yes,
they told me they were going to do some things.
That's beautiful.
And they're doing it, and I'm very excited and proud and happy that those things are being done. Because if we don't treat and contain and eradicate Ebola in West Africa, in Africa, we risk it being spread around the world. So it's not just an African problem. It's a global problem. It's the world's problem. And so the U.S. and other countries have noticed that. France and England, the U.K., they've been making a lot of strides too. And even African countries, Ghana made some contributions, and other countries in Africa. So together, we're all in this, and people are taking steps to really, really crack down on this virus. And I'm so grateful for that.
So have you really had any information, especially from the African Union, that it's trying to merge or trying to bring all the countries in Africa together, at least to help the Western African countries?
I haven't gotten any word on that yet, but that's something that definitely needs to be done if it isn't being done already. And I'm confident that they're working on that, because this is not just one country's problem or 4 countries' problem. It's all of Africa, and it's the world. So the more we can come together and combine our resources, the stronger we are, and the more we would be able to get rid of this virus.
That is true, because we got some information that the Kenyan government has donated $1 million US.
That's great.
At least you are doing a lot of work, and then people are really listening to you.
That's awesome.
Okay. How are you involving the diaspora, especially the African diaspora, in order to help in this particular situation? Are you trying to talk
Yes,
to them?
I have.
Are you
I have
reaching them?
been reaching. Oh, every day.
Okay.
Every day, I'm reaching out to our African brothers and sisters here in the diaspora. In fact, I will be going tomorrow to a meeting at with the West African Collaborative. It's an organization made up of West African leaders. I spoke with the president today, and they will be meeting tomorrow. Their meeting started at 3. He asked me to come at 4 to talk about our work with the KOFA Foundation and how we can work together, how that collaborative, that team of West African leaders here in the diaspora can work together and try to fight this fight together. So I'll be attending that meeting. There's a task force, the West African Task Force Against Ebola. I've met with them several times, and they're doing some great work. So my goal is to get all these groups working together, and they're doing that already on their own. And it's exciting to be a part of that to see that continuous effort. Because it's going to take a collaborative effort.
Sure.
We can't have these splintered initiatives going on. We're not going to be effective that way. We have to come under one umbrella. We have to know what we're all doing, and we have to see how we can best support each other and work together as a team. Because together we're stronger, right?
Yes, true.
So that's the goal, and so that's been part of our work here with the KOFA Foundation, is making sure and being a part of these collaborative efforts.
How is the media now basically helping you in this particular situation? Is the media actually in the forefront?
Yes, yes, the media's in the forefront. The media's been great. In fact, I have this great interview with you here, a member of the media, and I'm very humbled to be here today and talking with my people, my African people. It's home.
Yes,
I have to talk with my family, my brothers and sisters.
Sure.
And I've talked with the African paper, and it's been really great with us, and the media here in Minnesota, and national media in the U.S. I had an interview yesterday with Fox 9 News, and they talked about the upcoming memorial service that's coming up, along with the launching of the KOFA Foundation. We're going to officially launch this foundation. We've been doing a lot of work and a lot of collaborative work, but we're doing our official launching on the 27th. So that's what that was, and I have a series of interviews coming up with the media on that and our work. But the media's been really good because they've been great with helping us get the word out and get education and awareness out, because no one knew about Ebola. I didn't know about Ebola, and so I had to get educated about it. And the media has been a great forum for us to spread the education and to let people know what we're doing to help and what needs to be done to help, some of the needs.
Thank you.
That
is great. And there's one concern here we had from the press conference, which the Nigerian president actually said. We were surprised by him saying that your husband was crazy. So can you give a response?
Yeah, that press conference was tough, and I'm sure it was tough for him too. I think he was a leader, desperately wanting to lead his people and wanting to make sure that the people of his country is safe. Nigeria didn't have cases of Ebola, or at least known cases of Ebola, prior to my husband traveling there. And so that was tough and rough on everyone. And I'm sure the leadership there was feeling that pain of what Ebola can do to a country. And so I'm not sure, I can't speak on what, the president of Nigeria was thinking. But as a leader and as someone who have been in a leadership position, I can understand his panic, and I can understand his fear and his concern for his people, and wanting to speak out for his people. So I understand that leadership piece. What I want us to understand, though, as a whole, is that people infected with Ebola gives you 21 days, right, to live. And if you live past the 21 days, you're cleared. So within the 21 days, let's talk about the mental health piece, your mind frame. You're probably almost in an altered state of mind, right? And Patrick was facing death. He didn't survive Ebola. So who knows? And I can't speak on what Patrick must have been feeling and thinking, but I can speak on what facing death may have felt like for him.
So you never communicated with him?
No.
Did you, no phone
No.
call from the time?
No.
Nothing
We were
completely?
out of no. And I sent him text messages. Just are you okay? Are you okay? And no response. You know, those were leading to the hours of his death. And you know, I can only imagine what he must have been thinking and feeling, being faced with death.
Sure.
What would I do? What would you do? How would you behave? This strange virus that you don't know, and you know has killed so many people.
Sure.
I don't know. We will never know.
Thank you.
And so his behavior those last minutes may have been looked at as or viewed as one of a madman, but you know, this was a man facing death. And we will never know what was going on with him.
Okay.
We would never know.
Thank you, my sister, for coming to the KDR television and the African paper. We understand and we are together with you in this particular process. In case you've got some information, please, you are free to come and call us or tell us. We'll definitely help you wherever we can manage to do that.
Thank you.
And for those who are watching or viewing this live stream, she has actually given you her contacts. You can visit KOFA Foundation, that is KOFA Foundation.org for more information. And you said you are having a launch when?
Yes, we're having the official launching of the foundation following a community memorial service that my family and I and our local community here is hosting for all of the victims who lost their lives to Ebola, for all of our brothers and sisters who lost their lives, including Patrick, who lost their fight against this Ebola virus. We're going to have a memorial service on the 27th of this month, so it's next week, Saturday, at 12 noon at the Brookdale Christian Center, and you can put up the information.
Yeah, we'll do that.
There, I gave you. So we're having that, and immediately following the memorial service would be the official launching of the KOFA Foundation. And so we're asking people to come with donation, you know, for this work, with financial donation, as well as medical donation, personal protective equipment, gloves, hand sanitizers, masks. Our partners from both Samaritan's Purse and Global Health Ministries will have representatives there that day at the luncheon. Global Health Ministries, Samaritan's Purse is flying someone in from Georgia to come and be a part of the luncheon because this is going to be an ongoing partnership with them and the KOFA Foundation. So they'll be here and they'll have a chance to speak there. So that's going to be the official luncheon, and we're so looking forward to that because lives are at risk.
Thank you.
And we need to be a part of the solution. And we, especially we Africans, need to take the lead, take the full front of helping our continent. And then we can ask the world to embrace and join with us in helping. Because this is also the world's problem. If we don't, like I mentioned before, if we don't contain it and eradicate it in Africa, it leaves Africa. Then it's here in the U.S. You know, and then it's in Europe.
Most of the
and
time
we don't want that to happen.
Surely, you've heard most of the time even African leaders actually say they can manage stuff. They don't really need the West.
Yeah.
But this is a big challenge for them.
We need the West. We need the West.
No, they've been saying they don't need the West, and we also basically want to see them do something about it. You know, we are not talking about politics, but we really want to make sure that we see that they are doing something.
We need the West, but we need to take the full front.
Sure.
We need to help ourselves as we're asking for help.
Sure.
So we need to take the lead, but we need everyone.
Sure.
Because this isn't just Africa problem, so we can't say we don't need the West. We don't have a choice.
Sure.
The West is involved because it's also the West problem.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having you, my sister,
Thank
Decontee.
you.
Next
Thank
time,
you.
please You are welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you very much. We are together.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Welcome.
God bless you all.
Thank you very much.